Hi guys, so I was sitting here kind of swatching my Arteza watercolor pencils and I realized the kids are upstairs and giving me a little piece. So I think what I'm going to do is talk a little about this and maybe do more of a review. When I used these the last time in the video, I think it was to make, just kind of playing with them, but I didn't really review them. And I used my Jane Davenport stamp set, a new one. I kind of just use them real quickly and loosely, but I didn't really show you guys like what they do or how I would use them. This is not a review for like, oh, some artsy, kind of thing. It's really how a card maker stamper, the best way, or I don't even know if the best way, just the way I would use them. So if there are any links, there will be affiliate links, which means if you click on them to make any purchases, I will make a small commission there. So I appreciate the support. So I started swatching these, and a friend of mine here on YouTube that I chat with all the time, Gina, had said that she did a little stamp, I think, of a heart, and then she would fill them in and then just kind of do the wash with that, so you can kind of see what it looks like, light and then dark. And I had seen another lady do something similar with like a little stamp, like a little star stamp. But what I'm doing here in my Arteza watercolor pad, see, I did some stuff here, but I haven't done anything on this backside. The backside is really smooth. The front side of this paper, the watercolor paper it does have a little bit of, I hope you can see that, the texture. And it's just like I said, it's like lines, like plaid. I really like it. It's a very different artsy look than other paper that I have. Most watercolor paper has kind of like mottled, kind of interesting. This one has a very interesting texture. But on the back side, it's kind of smooth. So I just started getting these, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this on my own, because what I think I'm going to do is rearrange them. Maybe even put them into a pencil case. I refilled up my Arteza pencil case with my Arteza acrylic paint markers and gel pens. But anyway, so I need to get another one, because if I take them out of here and put them in there, I would need another one because it's completely full. But see how those are how they show up. And there's 3 trays. There's a 72 set. They have a larger set and a smaller set. And I just feel like maybe I should get all the yellows together, all the pinks and the purple, I'm saying, like in rainbow order from lightest to darkest, but at the same time, I don't know which one is actually the lightest or the darkest, right? So like this yellow, maybe it's, when I swatch it lighter or darker than these other ones over here, I can't tell really. So I started using them, and that's why I just came over here, because they are really soft and nice. Not soft that they're gonna break, like creamy almost feeling. So let me show you, like the next one to swatch for me would be this guy. And the next set, I already did the first top row, and all I did was just kind of come in here, and again, this is watercolor paper. You can try on different papers, and I'm just kind of applying it heavily here and then getting looser with my coloring, and that's all I did. And it's just really nice and like buttery feeling. I am going to put the numbers on here after I'm done, because I didn't do that with my last set of when I did the real brush pen review. But I did later after I stopped filming. So just because you do want to know, obviously, the numbers, and it's easier for you to spot them instead of I'm like, okay, it's the 5th one from the, it doesn't quite work. So I did that. And then I'll continue doing this when I come back. I'll have them all swatched out. But I do want to show you a little bit about the water brushes. So again, I have these Vicky Button water brushes, or Bouton, and they are basically the exact same thing Arteza sells, but Artezas are red, right? And the Vicky Bouton ones are black, and the name is already rubbing off because, like I said, they're all made in China, and they're basically probably from the same factory. So it's just how it is. So that washes off. And then, so that's their basic water brush. And then I kind of reviewed their premium water brushes. And what I thought was funny is the premium water brush is more of a typical water brush. It doesn't have anything. You squeeze it here for it to work. They're basically the same bristles. It has a nicer, more fancy looking kind of top. It's a little cooler with that edge. But this one has this whole mechanism thing. And these are less expensive on Arteza than these guys. But I guess it depends on what you like. They're both in sets of 6 with basically the same things. I'm trying to find this one. So these are what I would say are similar to each other. They are both the large tip, so I don't know if you can see the large brush. So I'll try both of these out. They all come with wash brushes, and I just wanted to show you how a regular brush might look. Oh my goodness, do I not? Oh, maybe this one. This, I don't know if this is a watercolor brush, but I just wanted to show you how it looks. They do act a little bit differently, brush pens, and I prefer brush pens. But if you want to control the water, because sometimes the water just starts coming out of brush pens, you want to brush. That's up to you. This has never been used, and I'm not sure if it's a watercolor brush or not, but I'm going to get it in that water. And it's a round brush. It's a number 6. This is Craft Smart, so it's just the cheap brushes from Michaels. And I'm dipping in water so you can kind of have an idea of how this works. I'm trying to see which ones would be more comparable to show you, like maybe these reds. So when you're painting with these, it's nicer if you were to take the water from the light to the dark. If you go from the dark to the light, you're going to pull the depth of this color out and go that way with it. And it's not going to be as nice as if you go in this direction. So I'm just going to start kind of melting that paint and pushing it that way, right? And I'm going to get a little more water on here. Okay, and that's kind of what just a paintbrush would look like. I didn't really want to obliterate the end of it, but that's alright, I did. So let's use the next one is the premium brush. So we have to give it a squeeze, and you can see water comes out, but I only give it a squeeze enough so that it's wet, but not like completely dripping. But you can make it drip if that's what you need to happen. And I'm melting that water down and pushing it. And hopefully you can kind of see, look how bright that stays. So this obviously deposits more water, right? And this less water. And always wipe it off in between because you're going to end up taking this somewhere else. And you can continue rubbing into this until it doesn't have lines, but I'm going to end up doing something I don't want to do. Okay, there's that. And then we have the regular, the more inexpensive brush pen. I can see the water's already there, so I'm not going to give it a squeeze or anything. And again, just obliterate those marks if you want to, because obviously if you want it to be watercolor, you want it to look ethereal, nice. You don't really want to see a lot of the pen strokes or the pencil strokes, but I kind of like the pencil strokes. So it gives it another texture too. So there's lots that you can do with these guys. Look how nicely that worked. So I'm going to go through and swatch them all, and when I come back it'll be on here because that's kind of what I wanted to look at, so I kind of know how to rearrange those colors. And then we'll do a little something with it. So I'll be right back. Okay guys, so this is the next morning, so I've done quite a bit of work. So what I wanted to show you is when I sampled all of the colors, they didn't all quite fit. I ran out of room, so I put the rest of them here. And this is the order that they were in, right? Remember I showed you it was kind of, in my opinion, nothing I could discern, like with the order that they were in. I don't know. So I put them all here, and then I kind of eyeballed the colors, and I don't know if you call them the values or like tones, and I kind of put them in order what I thought would work, and I just put the pencils in here, and then I swatched those. So let me show you what that looks like. And that was pretty close, but some of the greens I think I need to switch around still. So I just went through and kind of eyeballed them, and then I wanted to start with red, but then they're, you know, pink. Where do you put pink? So I kind of went pinky reds into the yellows, into more orange, into green, because it cuts off from orange to green really abruptly. So to the greens, to like the aqua kind of greeny blues, into the blues. And I know they look crazy, right? Some are darker, some are lighter, but when you swatch them, the colors come out that way. So that's kind of why I followed. And then I went to the blues, the purpley blues, going into purples and those kind of colors, and then into browns, right? And then some greenish brown, gray kind of colors into black, and then the white. So let me show you what that looks like swatched if I kept them in this order. And I'll have pictures, I think, on my blog. That way you can look at it if you think the way I have them in order is pretty good, or you don't want to start from scratch, right? So this is kind of what it ended up being. So hopefully you can kind of see that it's light pinkish into the reds, into the deeper tones, the yellows. I did pretty good well here, and then here what happened is it goes into the oranges. So even though this is lighter than this, it's not the same shade, you know what I'm saying? So orangey, and then the greens, that's where I was like, oh, okay. Like this green should probably be over here somewhere, because that one, I mean, these three kind of look more alike, so I'll probably switch those out. Like this one looks like it should go right under this one, and then kind of go from there. Then that was just a really deep kind of greeny blue. It's kind of an interesting color. Going into the green kind of blue shades, blues, you know, not too bad there. But there are a few, like these two purples I feel like should probably pop down here, because these are more reddish purples. And then the purple. So not bad. I mean, I think that was pretty good for eyeballing it. And then I just tried some stuff out because, you know, my kids are awake and everything, so I was just like, I did some stuff on my own. So again, this is a watercolor paper. It has that feel, you know what I'm saying? It's texture on the one side, the other side's more flat. So this, I just wanted to try out what I think are skin colors, and I just would put down the numbers I use. Like this was 110, this was 304, which I really like. This 305, a mix of some of the colors, a mix of some of the colors. So I just kind of messed with it just to play yesterday. And then this flower that didn't come out as well as I would like, but that's okay. And then I just want to see how much color you should lay down. Like these are very light, and then I blended out. Miranda actually colored this girl's hair. But if you put down just a ton, like really saturate your paper with the color, it's nicer, right? I mean, obviously it's more bold. So I was just kind of messing with it a little bit with the pencils. So that's watercolor paper. So I figure for us, for stampers, a lot of times we like to use stamping papers, right? I mean, that's more accessible and probably something you have with you a little more often. So I'm just going to quickly kind of color this in and show you different ways, because a lot of times you watch videos, or like if you watch Crafter's Companion, and they will just color it in completely. So these do work a lot like colored pencils. Obviously it's the same kinds of principles in my opinion, but I mean, some people might say no, they're totally different. So what I would like to do is just kind of get started. I'm trying to think what color I want to use. 202. And we'll just color her in. So again, you can do a little bit of color and then drag it out, or you can do a whole lot of color and then just blend it with the water, right? So there's different things that we can do. I don't know if I want to start with skin color. Let me see what this one looks like. I'm trying to find 202. It's way down at the bottom here. And, ooh, sorry about that sound. It's really sounded a little... Okay. And again, I'm just looking at my legend and I was like, oh, where's 202? It's on the bottom. Okay, so I went and grabbed that. So I'm going to do this for the little skin color. Now, this is Crafter's Companion stamping paper, so it's completely smooth. And so when I come in here, I'm just going to go in little circular, if you want to go up and down, whatever you want. I'm doing it kind of lightly because I'm going to go a little deeper in the shadow areas. But basically the whole face I'm doing a little bit lightly and a little bit more color again against the little hairline, and we're gonna pretend the sun's coming this way so it's brighter, you know, in her little face here. And same thing back here, so I'm just gonna do the little arms. And you see I'm not doing circles anymore, I'm kind of going this route. Miranda Lou. Miranda's up early with me today. I was like, okay. And I guess her little legs here. And again, you can mix colors. And as you can see, I'm not doing it super dark. Now, we'll talk about that in just a minute. I didn't know where to put this thing because she's on her little swing. And I'm like, where does this swing end? Like, if I had a tree here or something, that'd be a different story. But I don't. So I'm like, I don't know. And we do not have to go in with the water right now. So I'm going to keep that pen out, or pencil out. Let's do some hair. Now I want to go pretty dark with that. Just trying to think what colors look nice. 310. No, let's do... Again, this is just being a stamper. I'm not trying to be an artist. I just want to get something down and make it look nice. So the black, I'm just going with regular black. And I'm putting it more in the dark areas here and here. And we'll go in here. I'm just kind of following the hair line. Is that supposed to be her ear? I think that's supposed to be her ear. So I'm going in here. Just kind of bring that out. But again, you can color the whole thing and then do whatever you like. I just like to add a little bit of color and then blend that out. And maybe that's my style. I don't know if that's, you know, how I do it, but that's how I do it. I'm going to go ahead and just work on these just so we can kind of get some idea. I do have a paper towel here just in case. You always want to wipe between colors. This is stained blue, but it's just going to be blue. I'm going to do her little face first. So as soon as you can see, as soon as the water hits it, it just starts blending. And what's nice about this stamping paper is that it can take quite a bit of water because it's kind of, I don't know if it's a multimedia paper, but it can take water, you know, it'll be fine. And so again, this time I am blending out from the dark. Usually what you want to do is come in from the light area and blend into the dark. And you can do that too. I mean, the way I color, because I only put a little bit of color, I like to get it from the dark area and bring it to the light area. But if you color it and you colored it in lightly and then you went to the dark, you can always start from the light area and come into the dark. Okay? I hope that makes sense. If you color in solid like this, I colored in solid pretty much. So I'm going to start in this lighter area and work towards the deeper area. And since it is watercolor, you can kind of move it around a little bit. And that's what most people recommend. Or you can start from the dark area and bring it down into the lighter area. But it does make a little bit of difference. I'm just not that picky to say, oh, it has to be this way. But because of the way I color, I do like to kind of bring the color out from the dark area to the lighter area. Okay, so that's the brown part. Now I'm going to do the little hair. And I'm not really squeezing this. This is moist, but it's not like super, super wet. And again, black hair, I'm bringing it out. And again, I do this lightly. If you want to color in the whole area and then just blend it so it looks nice, like so you don't see the pencil marks, that's up to you. But I'm using this just more lightly. I don't know. And then she has a little rubber band in her hair, so we'll deal with that in just a minute. And again, just keep blending. See how I had pencil marks there? Pencil lines? I think hopefully you could have seen them. If I just keep going over and over, I'm blending those out. And I'm taking the black from this area and blending it out to where there is no color. Again, start in that dark area and blending it out. Again, that's because of the way I prefer to color with these. It's kind of the same way I color with the water brush pens. That's just what I like to do. Now, let me put like a little red, I don't know, something in her little hair band. She only has the one on this side that you can see, so I'm just pop a color there. Okay, bless you. Alright, so what do we got? Let's go ahead and use black for her little shoes. And again, I'm going to start dark back here because that's where the sun's not hitting, and I'm just going to bring that color forward. And just with that, that makes her little shoes look like... And I just put a little gray in the bottom here. And you can also just kind of add a little more in the... Okay. And so we have the wood. Let's use 310. Put this one back. 310, is this 310? That's 305. 310 is closer to these other guys. Right here. And so I'm going to do this part a little bit differently because I want to show you what I mean by if you want to color the whole thing in. So let's just start. I'm going to color this in kind of, as you see, I'm just coloring it. And I haven't been doing that for the rest of it. But let's just say we want to come in here and color all of this. And just press a little harder in the darker areas. Again, you can get another color. You don't have to keep the same. I'm just keeping it super simple. But you can blend in other colors. Let's just say that, and I'm going to grab this deeper color, this espresso brown, just to add a little bit more dimension here. Okay? And then take your pen and blend that out. And all that does is just make, obviously you see the color comes to life, but it removes your pencil marks and it looks really nice. If you want your pencil marks, then come back in with some more if you want to make it look like part of the texture. So if you can see, it's a slight difference, right? This from this. And you can do it however you like. I might show you one other thing whenever we're done here, but okay, let me put these back in the right spot because that way I know. And she can be wearing a cute little pink top. 401, 405, is that what I have here? Yes. So I'm going to start with 401, and I'm going to do this the same way like I said. If you want to color it all in, just so you can have a different idea what that looks like. I'm going to come in, and I'm just completely coloring it like if I was using colored pencils. Right? Color pencils, again, if you want them to look real smooth, if they're, well, you don't always have to do that. A lot of color pencils have really nice buttery feel that you can blend without Gamsol or some kind of blending solution, but a lot of times you do need to do that. So as you can see, that's pretty much colored in, and it's not typical of my style, but that's okay. And then I'm going to come in with this, that was number 401. I'm going to come in with 405, just to add a little depth in here. A little bit of shadow maybe under this. And make sure this is clean. And again, let's go ahead and get that blended out. I'm kind of dealing with the light pink before I get into that dark pink. And just a little bit of that darker pink there. Hopefully you have an idea of what that kind of looks like. And I might do a little more than that. The more pigment you lay down, the way I colored it, the more pigment you have to deal with. So what happens is it'll reconstitute, it gets wet, and then you can kind of see streaks in it, like if it was acrylic paint, because it's nice and thick. So that's kind of why I like to use a light hand, start off lighter and then get darker, or just use one color, right? So like I'm gonna do her little pants, and I'll do like a jean color. I don't know what that would be. Let me see, 511 looks good. So I'm gonna come over here, and 511 is right here. I'm just looking at this at the corner of my eye, so I said 511 because I like this color, and that's what I'm gonna go. 514 is kind of cute too. Her little pants. And what I'm gonna do with this one is do it more like the style that I like. So I'm gonna come into these areas where there should be shadow and kind of do a little less. Maybe down here there should be some shadow. And again, clean that off. And let me blend that color all the way out. So I just want to show you, I mean, you can color completely like you would normally color, or just like I do, I like to just add a little color here and there and then bring it out. And I think that looks nice. But again, you know, like I say, do whatever you like. There are plenty of people out there that will show you how to do a lot fancier coloring than what I do here. But for me, it's just a nice product at the end, and if I'm proud to put it on a card, that's good enough for me. Oh, the other things I've shown you guys too is that you can just take the water brush to your pencil and get some color. That's a little bit too much, but then you can use that to help you out. So there's lots of different little ways to use these guys. And I'm just coloring that in there. And what's kind of cool is that you can keep reconstituting and touching things up until you're happy. To a certain point on stamping paper. But I think that's really sweet. So, where is she swinging from? Where is she coming from? I don't know. So what I'm going to do is take a little bit of... oh, I have to color the rope. I might not color the rope. We'll see. Let's think of a color that looks nice. 503, maybe? That's 501. And I'm just going to take this and hold it sideways here. And I'm just going to add color in here. Again, how much you want to put. Yeah, whatever. Might have to go a little deeper, but this color is really pretty, so I think this will be fine. So that's just 503. And maybe down here at the bottom I'll do a little... no, not 603. See, this is funny. It looks bright, but if you look at 603 on the color chart here, 603 is this one. And it's, I want something brighter, so I want like 601. This one here. But the color of the barrel does not look like it would be what it says there. But anyway. Alright, she is completely flying into outer space. And let me get my bigger like wash brush that I used the other day. These are from the Arteza premium set. And I'm just adding water. Kind of pushing on it. I do want this really diluted and just kind of in the background. Try not to touch her because then you're gonna blend her out. Hope you can see what I'm doing. Really easy, really simple. So that's it, guys. Oh, I mean, for today. There's gonna be a lot more tutorials using them, you know, just in regular tutorials that I do, but just want to give you a few little tips and kind of how I would use it as a stamper, how would I use these things, and I would probably hit this with a heat gun just to dry it up, but yeah, just a little something. So thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions, please leave them. Hopefully, again, I will have the link to any affiliate links I might have, but I also have the link to my blog, so I'll take a picture of that chart and you can kind of get an idea if that's something you would like. Oh, the white color pencil is really nice because what you can do with this guy is just kind of make a pool of white, like on a piece of paper or whatever, and pick some up with your brush, and it gets really like titanium white looking, and you can flick it on your projects, or just come in and if you want to use some white to touch things up, you can definitely use it. So it's a really useful thing, even though it looks like nothing, right? But it's really fun. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you all at the next one. Bye now.